make a fortune wholesaling real estate. Guys, most wholesalers out here and real estate investors and entrepreneurs in general are really good at making income, but they're really bad at saving it. Guys, there's so many shiny distractions out here that is stopping a lot of real estate wholesalers, a lot of real estate entrepreneurs out here, real estate investors from truly living the wealth and the life of their dreams, taking care of their family, and getting a true fortune and a true wealth in their life. And in today's video, I want to break down actually how to build your empire, actually how to build a real fortune when it comes to real estate wholesaling. So many people had this problem starting out, and this is something I feel like if you can take the time and learn actually how to spend your money wisely in real estate wholesaling, where you can make the most money in your real estate wholesaling business, but also where you can put that active income into passive income so you can be as successful as possible. Now, I'm not telling you what to do with your money. I'm not a financial CPA, lawyer, any of this stuff, attorney, but what I really want to break down is, as someone who watches a lot of real estate wholesalers fizzle out, see a lot of wholesalers do really well, not be able to spend their money. I see all these wholesalers I see so many of them come in a year, make a bunch of money and fiddle it out and do really bad. And this is a very, very similar situation, in my personal opinion, to if you get in the NBA or the NFL or something like that, where you come from not making any money at all, or having a family where financial education and financial literacy isn't a real thing, and you somehow get millions and millions of dollars, or in our case in wholesaling, 500 grand, $1 million, right? And you don't know what to do with it, and kind of quote unquote the system takes the money for it from you. And that's honestly how the United States basically works. I mean, if you have money, there's shiny objects everywhere trying to take your money. I'm telling you right now, there's gold chains, there's watches, there's whips, there's vacations, there's all this stuff. And the honest truth today, I really want to break down and have a candid conversation to every real estate wholesaler out here. I don't care you just got your first $10,000. I don't care you got your first $1 million. These are lessons that if you can do it the right way, you can sort of get like where I'm at, where yes, I run a 7-figure wholesaling operation, but I kind of shifted my real estate wholesaling business where, in my opinion, what's true wealth and a true fortune is where I can only work 5 hours a week in my real estate wholesaling business. I'm making a ton of passive money. And the most important part is I can just quit everything today. I stop making videos. I could stop wholesaling, stop investing in stocks or real estate and all this stuff. And I can kind of just live in my house and never have to worry about anything for the rest of my life, right? Like I'm taken care of for the rest of my life. And I kind of put my own system here, which I'm going to show you today. Rick's done this too, where we've basically been able to follow one key principle when it comes to a real estate wholesaling business. And this is a secret one, that if you can implement this when you're making at least 50, 60, 70K in real estate wholesaling, if you follow this method for a decade, you'll never have to work another day in your life. And that makes real estate wholesaling so fun for me. That's what makes real estate wholesaling the best, real estate investing the best. This is when I can do hobbies like making videos for you guys out here, because I feel like one person's gonna have a lot of value from this. And as somebody that made a lot of money at 17, 18 years old, I've definitely made mistakes, but really by being mentored by a lot of really great entrepreneurs, basically through YouTube, on how to teach money, I learned a lot. And this is something I really want to break down today, of just basically how to make the fortune in real estate, how to keep the money, everything like that. So guys, there's distractions everywhere. As someone who's 22, you listen to the most popular songs. It's all about girls, Lamborghinis, and basically just getting the nice watch, the cool whip, the cool clothes, guys. And there's nothing wrong with that. I definitely do live a life of just trying to stay as humble as possible and grounded, because the next day is never promised. And it's definitely just trying to live below my means. But I mean, when you're making a lot of money, you can basically do whatever you want. But I'm going to show you exactly today my method out here. So if you're going to get any value from the video, please do me a big favor and smash that like button and subscribe to get any value from my content. And we're going to teach you how to save your money for the best possible, just the best possible way to live the life of your dreams. Because if you can follow this principle, if you're only going to be in wholesaling for 3 or 4 years, you can still find a way to become financial free through this. And a lot of people are quote unquote stuck, as people call, in the matrix. And this isn't like some hubu, ubu, la la, like crazy la la land stuff, but there is quote unquote a matrix if you're living in the United States of America. And really the people that get out of the matrix are the people that make a ton of money, that are entrepreneurs, that can basically hack the quote unquote system to live the life of their dreams. So quote unquote like this, what is the system, right? You wake up in the morning, you go to work, get your coffee, work 9 to 5, get home, watch a movie, hang out with the kids, go to sleep, wake up, do it the next day, and pray you get a holiday or a weekend, right? That's the system. The school system in the United States is basically set up where you're a worker, had to be trained to be a worker, and that's basically it. And us real estate wholesalers, us entrepreneurs, us real estate investors, we kind of figure a way around that. Like, hey, I don't want to make 50K a year for the rest of my life working 60 hours a week. I want to live life on my own terms, make a ton of money, and have all the time freedom. And that helps you out a lot. But the issue is when you turn into real estate wholesaling, some of y'all just make it into that system and make it into a job. And what do I mean by this? So like, let's say you're making $100,000 in real estate wholesaling net at the end of the day in assignment fees. You got no marketing, you're making 100K, right? Good. A lot of people out here, you know, they buy the really nice watch. They go to the crazy dinners. They do all this crazy stuff. And at the end of the day, after paying taxes and all this stuff, you net like $10,000 at the end of it. Or you net like $5,000 and you just kind of spend it all just, you know, quote unquote, YOLOing it, living life. And unfortunately, that means what happens the next year? You got to make that same 100K. Next year, you got to make that same 100K. And you just got to constantly do it. You're scared. Oh my gosh, I got to get the next deal. I got to do the next deal. I got to blah, 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 boom, boom. And you're stuck in that job because you need that job. You need to be wholesaling. And what I really want you to do at the end of this video is, I'm the biggest fan of wholesaling real estate. I still think it's the greatest tool to become a millionaire at any age, anywhere in the world. But wholesaling, it can be a gift and a curse, you know, like if you're wholesaling, but you're spending all the money you're making, you're constantly in a grind where you have to wholesale. And that's kind of the thing I love about wholesaling is because I don't have to wholesale. I have enough passive income. I don't have to, right? But I do it because I love to. And that's really a point where you got to figure out in your life and in yourself what you want to do. So what you need to do is just follow this one rule I've done. It is called the 20% rule. And if you're in real estate wholesaling, the biggest goal you need to do is make your first 100K in real estate wholesaling. That is the hardest. The 0 to 100K a year in real estate wholesaling is the biggest grind. I can teach you how to go 100K to $1 million. That's actually really, really easy. And that's the easiest one for me to teach. But that 0 to 100K is always the hardest one. And again, if you want to learn step-by-step all this stuff, go to freewholesaling.com. It is a free wholesaling course. It is absolutely for free, and it'll show you exactly how to get started step by step, get your first deal, government list, all that stuff. But that's not the point of this video. But if you got to get to your first 100K, that's going to be your hardest part. Like that's something where like you got to grind and focus. And this is sort of the people that are kind of at that 50K, 60, 70, they're about to hit 100K. What do you do once you hit that level? Like how do you start building that fortune, that wealth? When you start hitting $1 million, I don't care if you're making 100 million a year. This is the key. It is called the 20% rule. The 20% rule clearly states here that all you can do on your income is spend 20% of it on expenses, watches, vacations. I don't care what you are. The cool part about this is this doesn't curb the amount of fun things you can do. It's just constrained to how much income you make. Cool part like me, if I make millions and millions and millions of dollars and I'm only spending, you know, 100K, maybe 200K a year if I go crazy, that's basically it. Like I don't have to worry about anything, and I have to force myself to spend the 20%. Never fun, but I have to force myself to have fun sometimes because I love working, I love helping people out, I love growing businesses. That's my true hobby in life. But if you follow the 20% rule, it's going to help you out a lot. So let's kind of break down the 40% rule. So let's say we make $100,000 in a year, and obviously states differ. Taxes, LLC, you have a C corporation, S corporation. They're all a little different. I get it, but basically what the 20% rule basically states is, let's say 100K, 40% of that is going to be used most likely for taxes. You have sales taxes, you got income taxes, business taxes, LLC, whatever you have. This is not a tax guide video today, but basically, like more or less, 40% is going to be taken for taxes either way around it. You know, you got property tax, about 40% of your income overall is going to be basically put into taxes, and you know, you got Social Security. If you do it wrong, you got to pay that. But like, I'm not a CPA, but like most of the time should budget around 40% for taxes. So basically when I make a certain amount of money every single month, like if I made 100K, guess what I gotta do? I'm gonna put 40% of the way for taxes. I'm a little crazy about it. I always make sure the tax man's paid. Never wanna be freaked out of that. That's where a lot of people get in trouble. Now that next 40% here, so we got 40, 40, 20. So the next 40% is that 40,000, so about $40,000, you need to use that to spend that on assets and cash flowing things that are going to make you money. And this basically comes back to more or less 4 categories you can spend this money in. Basically real estate, rentals, real estate investments, right? Subject to properties, REITs, right? Those basically real estate's number 1. That's definitely going to be a law I can give to you. Number 2 is stocks. Don't get crazy in stocks. Like if you don't know anything about stocks, just do like a regular S&P 500 fund and then just start learning a little more about that. Maybe do a NASDAQ, QQQ, something you want, or do individual stocks if you want. But like if you're starting out, that's something I definitely would recommend on top of real estate. Number 3, basically, if you want to, not for the faint of heart, you can do some cryptocurrency too if you really want to get into it. I prefer real estate and stocks over that. But still, I don't think it's something that's going to be too terrible of an investment, right? Especially now, if you're buying it now. And then the last one's like precious metals, gold, silver. Those are basically, in my personal opinion, the 4 things you should put that 40% into. So 40% goes to taxes, 40% goes to actual wealth building, wealth creation. That's your dream fund, so you don't have to work another day in life if you don't want to. This gives you that quote unquote FU money, right? That you can tell anyone F you if your job's bad, you don't want to deal with wholesaling anymore, you don't want to deal with this anymore, you just want to live on an island in Bali or something. Use that 40% for that. Not really talked about too much, but again, a recap for that 40%. I do recommend this because not a lot of people have direction. Real estate, do a REIT. Like you gotta look the stuff up, guys. I'm not gonna be that expert on here today because I'm a wholesaler, but I do put a lot of money in this stuff. Real estate rentals. Make sure if you're doing a real estate rental though, that you have someone managing those properties. You do not want to be buying a job that's gonna take time away from you. You wanna buy things that are not gonna take time away with you so you can make money while you sleep. A lot of people are like, oh, I own 100 rental properties and I manage them all myself. Guys, it is not worth it, especially when you're scaling up your business. Your time is best spent in the real estate wholesaling operations, not managing rentals, I promise you. So make sure you have a property management company. If you do that, do a REIT if you really, really want to. Stocks are really good too, and then the crypto or precious metals. I'm not really gonna get too much in those last 2. I really recommend starting out a REIT, real estate, or stocks, just a regular mutual fund starting out. But basically that's where you spend the 40%. Now, what do you do with that 20%? Now that 20% is what you use for living expenses. Now, I get it, you might be a single mom, single dad, you gotta take care of your kids, your wife, I get it. Like you're making 100K, might cost more than $20,000 obviously for your expenses. But this is kind of a rule, like when I was making $1 million back in the day, I only spent at most 200K in my expenses. And I was pretty much at like 60K because I was basically renting a place when I was a teenager, and I kept expenses very, very low. Like I get it, right? And 20% is really like, if you can do it, I would recommend it. If you really want to build true wealth, that's really going to be the way you got to do it. Not a lot of people would be happy with me, but obviously you got to take care of like your elderly mother, put a roof over your kids' heads, feed them, take care of a family. I get it. But don't use that as an excuse to go to Disney or a crazy vacation, right? But like use that 20% on those expenses. And basically if you create that little rule, it's gonna help you out so much. Not a lot of people follow rules like this. It does not help you like a lot just going on those crazy vacations, buying that Gucci sweater, right? Live below your means. If you can follow that 20% rule and basically tuck away 40% on taxes. Now, if you're at 30% taxes and you have an extra 10%, I recommend you probably put that into investments or in expenses if you have a crazy expense, right? Medical expenses, stuff like that. I get it, right? But really it's that 40, 40, 20. So 40% taxes, 40% just on income. So basically making income for yourself, passive income opportunities from there, and then 20% for actual expenses out here. And really, if you can get like, let's say a regular rental property, and we're not talking about depreciation, write-offs, any of this stuff. Let's do a regular rental property, right? And if I have a property manager on there, we're appreciating all this stuff, guys. Let's say at the end of the day, we're gonna net 10% on this, right? So if let's say I spend $100,000 on a house, I should make, if you're doing it right, like if you should be doing it right, about $10,000, 10%. Now, a lot of my rentals, I'm getting 15, 16, 18% at the end of the day. If I add the write-offs in there, it's like 20, 22, 23%. But I'm buying a lot of properties for rentals, a lot of multifamilies and stuff. But like, if just a regular bozo, quote unquote, can buy a rental property like this, you're gonna make around 10%. So that means after 4 or 5 years getting started real estate wholesaling, so like I started 17, and if I did that 20% rule, which I did, if you're just making $100,000, right, like just 100K, and you're putting 20K, 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 and you have 100K saved up in rental properties you bought in, guess how much at my age at 22, if I was only making 100K, I could have? I could be making $10,000 every single year, basically in passive income, more or less. So that means I have $100,000 of investing out there. I'm getting 10% on that money. I'm gonna get $10,000. Now, if I save up, keep going, keep going, keep going, I can make $1 million. I'm gonna make $100,000 passively. So at 22 years old, I already have $10,000 coming in, if in this example, passively, that I don't have to work anymore. And that's gonna help me out a lot. Now at 22, if I do another 10 years of that, right? I keep going and going and going and going. I have $1 million easily saved up here. And that means maybe when I'm 30, 40, 50 years old, I actually have some assets that's paying me $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 every single year passively for the rest of my life. And I don't have to work, right? I have my own retirement. I don't have to worry about anything. I don't worry about a boss or anything. I can do whatever I want in my life. And that's kind of the point I'm trying to tell you right now. You know, fortune and wealth, quote unquote, in my opinion, you know, a lot of people have some really good quotes about it, but wealth is basically just a ratio, more or less, of your income and your expenses. And once you start figuring that out, if you can bring your expenses down and bring your income up and then invest that where that income makes more income for you, you basically broke the matrix and you can live the life of your dream. I basically have millions and millions and millions of dollars invested where I can get so much money coming on passive income where I don't have to work another day in my life. And it's absolutely amazing. And it is just clearly a blessing for me that I can help everyone out here learn wholesaling real estate for free because I make enough money in this business. So honestly, just think about this to a point too. Like, think of a Lamborghini and then think of a rental property. Let's say I buy one Lamborghini for $100,000. No, like $200,000 because they're getting more expensive, right? I buy one Lambo for 200 grand right now, and it's the coolest thing. I pull up in the supermarket, everyone's like, whoa, oh my gosh, you're the man, bro. Or I buy a $200,000 rental property. That rental property in the next 10 years will probably give me $200,000. Basically, I get what I put into it, I get that all entirely back, seriously, in the next 10 years. What's that Lamborghini doing? That Lamborghini is probably gonna be worth half its value. So that means that rental property is worth $400,000 if we're not even counting appreciation, right? If I just put that in extra rental properties, that means that rental property is worth about 400 grand. And that Lamborghini is worth 100 grand. Now, who looks cooler 10 years down the road? You got an old Lamborghini or you got an income properties and more income properties. At the end of the day, maybe it doesn't look cool, sexy right now, but think of what looks cooler and sexier 10 years from now. And I'm not telling you to deprive yourself, not live the life of your dreams, right? I'm a pretty simple dude, and I get to watch some TV shows, right? Play my video games. It's pretty not expensive what I do, you know. I'm not into like crazy quail hunting or anything like that. I do like fishing, but more or less, you know, I can live the life of my dreams, and really I am truly wealthy where I don't have to work for anyone for the rest of my life, and it is absolutely a blessing. So guys, if you want to start living the life of your dreams, actually build the fortune, you got to build that business up. So do me a favor, go to freewholesaling.com, learn exactly how to build that real estate wholesaling income, and then use that income, use the 20% rule, and become richer than you could ever imagine. So guys, do me a favor, smash that like button and subscribe to get any value from me, and we'll see you soon. Have a blessed one. Thank you.